Afternoon. Want to appreciate Daddy and Mommy in the house. Can we put our hands together for them? Thank you, sir. Thank you, Ma, for having us here. Okay. So this morning we're dealing with conflict resolution in the first general session, and it's definitely a very great topic. Conflict is inevitable in any relationship, not just in marital relationship. Wherever there are two or more people involved in any activity or any form of interaction, somewhere along the line. But we first of all want to establish that, conflict of opinion, doesn't have to lead to, what we can call a quarrel. Because there's a slightly, there's a slight difference in both. Some people think, if you marry, you must be quarreling. We don't believe that at all. But we do believe that it's normal that we have difference in opinion. That is normal. But if you come with the mindset that, we must quarrel, hope you know there are even people that if they're not quarreling, they're not even happy. Because they've come with that mindset that we must be insulting ourselves, our mother, our father. We must be. If we are not keeping balance, if I don't know this is not necessarily so. It doesn't have to be so. But of course, you would have difference in opinion in things. That's normal. You don't have to be married to do that. You will have difference in opinion on everything. Now, since conflict is a bit normal, remember, I'm not talking about quarreling. I'm not talking about insulting. That is not normal. But since conflict of opinion, conflict in preferences is normal, we need to also understand that if left unattended or unaddressed, it can become a problem. In fact, it often becomes a problem because some people do not realize that constant conflict can have a damaging effect on the relationship. So follow this. Constant, unattended, unresolved conflict can have a damaging, sometimes permanent impact on the relationship. So some people today are dealing with long-term resentment because there are issues that have not been dealt with. We normally jokingly say that we have a perfect marriage. We say it to get people's attention first. Because people say, hey! It shows how negative most people's minds are. We say we have a perfect marriage. And we say a perfect marriage is not a marriage that doesn't have issues to resolve. That's not, people have, your definitions are important. When you say a perfect car, does it go for servicing or not? You see, perfect car doesn't mean you won't change parts. That you would use this wiper you bought when you bought the car 10 years, you're using this. You change it. You change oil. Somebody get what I'm saying? So a perfect marriage is not a marriage without issues. It's a perfect where the issues are resolved properly and promptly. In fact, let me say it this way. Promptly and properly. Did you get that? A perfect marriage is not a marriage that there are no issues. It's a marriage where the issues are resolved promptly and what? Properly. So the difference between marriage you call perfect and the one that is imperfect is how they are resolving the conflict. How and when. There could be conflict that you resolve 20 years from now. I hope you do know. There are couples that is 20 years later, they now understood or gained the right perspective about an issue they had 20 years before. That's good that you resolved it, but it wasn't promptly resolved. Somebody carried resentment, pain for a long time. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? Another big mistake is to think that if you avoid the conflict or avoid the issue, it will go away. It usually does not. I did a tweet recently and I said, Somebody said time heals all wounds. I said, who came up with that rubbish? Because it was so popular at the time. I said, who came up with that rubbish? Time doesn't heal anything. Time can only be useful if proper treatment heals all wounds. Not time. If a car hits you, just lie down here till 4 o'clock, you'll be okay. No, you're not going to be okay. You will get worse. Is somebody catching what I'm saying? You will likely get what? Worse. Time is only useful if proper treatment is already applied, and time can help. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? So we've handled couples where there was breaking of trust, sometimes full-blown infidelity, sometimes financial betrayal, and they both just left it unattended. They just hug each other, tell each other sorry. You know, those days when people didn't understand the job of counselors and therapists. You know, if a couple has you in church, just say, hold yourself, pray. God has, go. So they carry resentment 10 years. It's still showing up in their communication and relationship because it was never addressed. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? So conflict is a bit normal, but it must be addressed promptly and what? Properly. Did you get that? It must be addressed how? So, is a perfect marriage possible? You're not answering. No, it's a class. I need you to catch. So, what is a perfect marriage? A perfect marriage is not a marriage that does not have issues. It's a marriage where the issues are dealt with promptly and what? Properly. Okay.
So, since we've already established that there will be issues, maybe we should draw your attention to some of the things that can cause conflict in your marriage. First thing would be money. The lack of it, the lack of a job, how you spend money, your money personalities. Interestingly, I found that a lot of people don't know that they have money personalities. Yes. How you react to when you have an abundance of money and how you react to when there's no money.
Abundant or debt.
Because sometimes people actually do change when they have a lot of money.
Yes.
Their real character comes out. So you were loving and kind, and then all of a sudden when you have a lot of money, you become entitled. You become rude. You feel like you own everyone. And so those things can cause conflict in marriage. The second thing that can cause conflict is sex. A lack of it or the difference in frequency. Some men want sex all the time because they have a higher libido. The woman is asking, is it food? And really, the man wants to tell you yes, but...
Yeah, but there's sometimes there's the one that wants a lot of sex, yes, and the man is running away.
So a lack of it or the frequency. Also, another major cause of conflict is in-laws. In-law interference, you know. Especially when one party is still tied to maybe their mother or their umbilical cord has not been cut, or their father.
My mommy. Mommy said we should not go to vacation.
And we've had so many people walk into counseling rooms and they're fighting, but they're not really fighting. It's their in-laws that are fighting. They're just fighting through them. You know, so that's a major area where you can have conflict. Another area is a lack of proper communication. If you don't know how to talk to each other, you will fight a lot. You will fight a lot. If you don't know how to talk to each other, if you don't even know how to explain how you are feeling, resentment will build. Maybe one person is more vocal than the other, and you just don't feel heard. There will be a lot of conflict after a while, especially when that person feels pushed to the wall. At some point, they will lash out and they will fight back. Another thing that may cause conflict in your home may be differences in your personality or temperament.
That one is sure to cause problem.
That one is a major issue in most marriages. A lot of times, people think that their partner is just being mean. They're not being mean. It's just their personality coming to play. It's who they are. So they now have to understand themselves. You have to understand them so that they can be conscious enough to change some things. So Pastor K and I always use that example. I honestly don't think that normally without Jesus and without some of the knowledge that we have acquired over the years, I don't think our marriage should be working because we are so different. Different in personality, different in the things that we like. Our temperament is obviously opposite. He's extroverted, I'm introverted. Interestingly, something happened just a few minutes ago that could have caused conflict if it was irregular and we don't understand each other. Pastor K likes to stand. is his default. He likes to stand. He thinks better when he's standing. He thinks better when he's pacing. I like to sit because I not really come to this life to suffer like that. Do you understand? And I don't believe in stress. For me, if you are very close to me, you hear me say it's not that deep a lot. It's not, because it's really not that deep. So they came to ask us a few minutes ago, so how are you guys going to do this? I said, we're going to do it together. In my head, I was like, so, and I said, so, should we get chairs? Pastor said, no. In my head, I'm like, why? And the pastor says, so you're going to stand for 1 hour? And I look at him like, we're going to stand for 1 hour? And he says, yeah. So he walks away and he says, I think better. In my head, I'm like, what's me? I think better when I sit. So, so our personalities are very different. We walk into a room, first thing I do is turn on the air conditioning. He walks into a room, first thing he does is turn it off. I eat cold food. I can eat food from the fridge, straight from the fridge. I'll grab chicken and just bite it. Pastor K, he must be seeing smoke on his rice like this. So literally everything. Our parenting styles are different. Me, I believe we should sit down, have conversations, and if the conversation is not working, I'll slap you. I don't have time for rubbish. But my husband is very, do this, do it. So our differences are very, like everything is different. He believes children should be more life smart than book smart. I believe, why can't we have it? Why can't they read their books and get straight A's? Why must he be? He said that one doesn't guarantee anything. So Pascal he believes in vacation. Vacation is education. You don't have to sit in class. If they disturb you too much, go to a school where it's fun, enjoy yourself, be happy, live this life, enjoy groove, spend your money. I believe that everything should be planned and managed. So you see, we're very different. So ordinarily, we should be quarreling every day. Every day we should have something to fight about. Mm-hmm. But you see, when you understand each other's personalities, I understand that this person is not trying to be mean. He's not trying to suffer me by saying we should stand for 1 hour, even though I'm just thinking.
You'll be all right. I'll massage your leg after this.
I'm just teasing. But the truth of the matter is that it can cause conflict.
Yes.
Your personalities will show up in your marriage. They will definitely show up in your marriage. Pastor K is a night person. Me, I'm a morning person. So when I came into marriage, I really believed that every morning we wake up together at the same time. We have family devotion, our family altar. We do Bible study together. He will teach me revelation that he has gotten before he teaches the church. All those silly things that I thought were going to happen for me. When we got married, 4 a.m., we pass each other on he's getting up, or rather, he's getting up from what he was doing to go to bed at 4 a.m. Me, I'm getting up from bed to start my day. So it's like an owl and a chicken getting married. Well, at what time do we meet? So a lot of those things would have caused resentment, anger, but when we teach you how to resolve conflict, you understand how, even though you have these differences and they can cause conflict, you can deal with them. So another thing that can cause conflict is house chores. Interestingly, who to do what?
That's a big issue. What?
It's a big issue, especially if you live on this side of the world.
Yes, I still watch a video of a woman that said why she wanted to divorce her husband some years ago. That they had kids, she was doing all the school runs, doing this one, that one, and one day she was going to put something in the trash, and just saw that the trash was full and overflowing. She just said she's getting a divorce because she was overwhelmed with so a lot of times it is stress making people, who you are when you are stressed is not the normal you at all. You need to realize, people don't realize that. I've discovered a lot of marriages that break. That person made that decision when they were really stressed. And when that stress was out of the way, they now find out, why did I end my marriage? Or why did I end it? Why did I quit this job? Why did I, move from that city? It was just stress. So please be careful and watchful of stress. Mm-hmm.
And another thing would be blended families, for instance. So stepchildren. If you are divorced and you remarry, and then maybe both of you bring children to the family, or you bring. Or you were widowed, or
whatever. Yeah. Any blended
situation can bring.
Or conflict. you miss your house address and enter another person's house, and you blend to their family. You just continue from there.
Please forgive him. This is what I do. Okay, another thing that can cause conflict is jumping to conclusions. Not asking, not having proper conversations, just assuming things. Mm-hmm. I saw you down the road the other day with ATM. That means you spent our money. You can ask before you jump to conclusions. And then finally, I think one of the most important ones is the fact that when both or either party is unwilling to change certain habits and character traits, the best way I can put that is, this is how I am. this is how I am, causes a lot of conflict in marriage. In marriage, you can come as you are, but you must adjust.
Yes.
You must
Don't
change.
remain
That's
as
the
you are.
whole concept of marriage. Marriage is supposed to make you better. So it's supposed to help you make adjustments. You're with someone else. I give this analogy everywhere. Where marriage is simply like two people who've never lived together. You're now asked to lie down on a bed together. Of course, there will be adjustments. If you're someone who is used to lying down on your own, you will lie down and scatter your body.
Yeah.
But now there's someone in bed with you. So you have to be conscious of that. Now, if the person is making you uncomfortable, you don't start shouting. What you do is tap them and say, please, could you just move a bit for me? I'm in the bed with you. And you too, don't be offended that they're saying move. You just move a bit and you adjust. Because tomorrow, I too can get comfortable and scatter my body and make you uncomfortable. Now, the same grace I gave you, you must give me back. And we keep adjusting till we get used to having each other on the bed. And then we get comfortable. We don't even need to say it. When I touch you, I realize that, oh, I think I've moved too much. And I make you comfortable. So that's what marriage is. It's constant adjustment till both of us find a very comfortable position without even having to tell each other. There's such a rhythm that we know what each person needs without even having to ask. Yeah. So if I say this is how I am, this is how I lie down, then of course there's going to be constant conflict. Yes. We're going to fight. Because if that's how you are, me too, I have how I am. So why is it only how you are that we're going to do in this marriage? Both of us have needs. And the Bible says two are better than one. They have a good reward for their labor. So two people should be blessed in the marriage, not one person. So marriage is not about one person. It's about two of us working together and getting blessed together.
All right. So, are there people sitting with their... If you are sitting with your spouse, can we see your hand? You're sitting with your spouse. Okay. If you and your spouse are here and you're not sitting together, it would be nice to sit together at some point because there are some exercises we'll do. You know, we want to see who has the loudest voice when people argue. I want of you to yell and they'll see. All right. No, you go ahead.
Okay, so which one?
Yes.
Okay, so there's something we've discovered over time in working with couples. We realize that the same way people have love languages is the way they have fight languages. So the same way that you understand love is the way that you also express your style. You have a style, a fighting style, where there's conflict.
Change your style.
It's how you respond when there's disagreement. And it may not even be the same way you respond with every other person. Your fight language in marriage may be different than your fight language in life.
Yes.
So, for instance, I'll give you an example. One of the fight languages in marriage or in relationship is the compromiser. Okay? So, when there's an issue, your default is, okay, forget about what I need. What do you want? So that we can make this work. Okay? Let's not talk too much. Let's not fight too much. Let's not argue. What can I do to make you feel better? How can we get along with this? Okay? Naturally, I'm a confronter when there's conflict. I won't look for a trouble, but if you come for me, you will never forget that you encountered me. Never. I also will take the war beyond me to the third and fourth generation of your family. That's how I am, naturally. So generally, don't look for my trouble. I will go all out. Spiritual, physical, I will do it all. But in marriage, interestingly, I'm a compromiser. So once there's a conflict, I think, okay, I want to hear what you want. What do you want? So there will be peace because I don't really have power for this. So I'm just trying to explain that just because you are a certain way when you are dealing with conflict in life does not necessarily mean that that's how you are or how you react to disagreements in your marriage. Yes. So it's important to understand your fight language and understand your partner's fight language so that you can know how to deal with it. So for instance, I'll give you an example. Another example. Another type of fight language, Pastor K, he's a logician. So they believe in, for lack of it, let me just explain it. They believe in logic, facts over feelings.
Yes.
So if there's an issue, he doesn't want you make me feel, no. I make you feel like, what's the example? When did I give me an example of the time I made you feel like this? So crying does not work.
Yes.
All those manipulating things.
I know a lot of men understand what I'm saying.
Yes. So all those things
that help this matter?
And it's important that you understand this because if not, you're going to think that everyone deals with conflict the same way. And if you have conversation with some of your friends, they're going to say to you, just cry, you will win. If you like, cry blood. Pastor K is just looking at you like, okay.
And it also makes some people think the man or the logician is wicked and is
it's
heartless.
just their fight
With all this cry, I'm crying. You didn't even ask me what's happening. That's why I'm asking you, where are we? What, the person still wants the facts. After you cry, thank you for your crying. Now, the facts is what...
Yes. So they need very concrete examples and very, very clear articulation of what the problem is. So when there's even I didn't you say, so I'm trying to understand. So what exactly is the problem here? Because I don't see the problem.
Yes.
And I'm like, how can you not see the problem? It's like, I don't see the problem. Explain it to me. Explain it to me. Yes. You don't like to sit here. I say sit here. And just tell me that why don't you like to sit here? Because I don't think so he's very logical when we're having, so we never have those, you are mad, you are stupid, you are crazy, you are, and that also is a fight language. Okay, so we have the reactor.
Yeah, but you just take it one by one.
Okay,
you're already almost finished explaining all of them. Just take it one by one. So that because some people fight language is martial arts. You must know how to block, how to defend, how to dodge.
Okay, so I've explained that there's the compromiser. Okay, so
please take note of it because I want to know what you think your spouse is or what you think you are, so that.
Okay, so there's the compromiser. I've already explained that one. So that person gets very uncomfortable with conflict. They just want to find a middle ground so there can be peace and we can move on. So they quickly offer solutions and alternatives. Yes, okay, you're not happy about it. What can we do? It's okay, honey. Don't be angry. What do you do? What do you want? Okay. The second one is the logician. So those are people that are very logical. They focus on facts, not feelings. Mm-hmm. In fact, they may seem detached, so you feel like they are wicked. So they actually just want to get clear examples and clear explanations. So they are not necessarily emotional, okay? Then we have the reactor. This is the person who processes their feelings externally. So they are the shouters. They will raise their voice, they will cry, they will do a lot of drama, okay? Interestingly, sometimes their intensity is not even anger. It's just how they need to offload what's going on the inside of them. So they're very passionate. It's almost as if everything must scatter, just so that you can understand what they feel.
And the challenge with those kind of people is that usually they marry the opposite. The person that likes to think first before they react to this issue. So they don't understand why you're just shouting everywhere. So what's wrong with you? Are you okay? That's where insult enters. But go ahead.
Okay. Then we also have the validator, okay? So the validator is the one that, when we are quarreling, I want you to first acknowledge how I feel before we move on. So it's not just about, let's just move on. No. Acknowledge that you have hurt me. Tell me I'm sorry. I want to hear that I'm sorry.
Yes,
hug me. Let me also feel heard in this quarrel. Not just that we're looking for a solution. Not just that you quickly want to find a middle ground. I need my feelings to be validated.
Yes, give me sweets.
Yes.
Oh, biscuits, yes.
So I'm not preaching it to you again. We preach it differently. They need to feel genuinely heard before they can move forward towards a solution. And then we have the avoider. I'm just going to give you these 5. We have the avoider. The avoider, obviously, are those ones that tend to withdraw where there's a fight.
They run away.
They want to leave the house. They want to change the subject.
They travel. They travel. I know them. They will just travel. Trip will come up. They will just travel. They'll be working late that period, that week. They will come back when you have slept and leave before you wake up. They are real people, I'm telling you. Real stuff we deal with in council. I'm not joking. They will have a branch of their business in that city because they are trying to, And the Bible talks about it as well. You marry a contentious woman, you go to turn off the roof. They run. They literally run away.
So, we have given you those 5 people. There are a lot more, but we've given you these 5. And I think it's a good place for us.
All right. So who can which of the couples here can tell us? Let's volunteer. Let's see who volunteer couple. All of us have, so there's no right and wrong. We all have. Okay, let's even start this way. In our own marriage, who can guess what I am, for instance?
I just told them.
Okay. Okay, we've already, you see, we're giving too much example. Okay, so let's look at a couple. Which couple want to volunteer? Thank you, both of you. Can you stand? Where's your spouse? Stand. Okay. So tell us what. Okay. You, the wife, tell us what he is. He's a logician. Do you agree with that? You don't agree? You agree? Okay, what do you think you are, the wife? You're a compromiser. Do you agree? Okay, let's clap for them. Thank you. Who else wants to volunteer to just share with us? It's a learning class. We all need to be part of it. And that couple, you want to help us? People are wearing the same clothes, so we're like, can you help us? Help us if you don't mind. Stand, please. Let's put our hands together for them.
Please celebrate them.
So what do you think she is? So all women are compromisers, basically. Do you think you're a compromiser too?
I don't think I'm a compromiser. I think I'm more of the logical one.
She says she's logical. What do you think he is?
I think he's the validator. He likes that validation first.
So let him confirm. Do you think so?
Yeah, and also I think I'm more of a compromiser. Because there's a lot of stuff.
Okay, so if she says she's not a compromiser and she's the logician, so it's possible that you also okay. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for them.
But it is possible to be more than one thing.
Yes.
So that's why when she said he's a validator, it's possible that there are some conflict situations where he wants to be heard.
Yes.
He doesn't just want to come back, he also wants to be heard.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the key is that these things are good because sometimes if you're not paying attention, you'll probably not have noticed certain things. So it takes time to get a hang of. Who else wants to check what they are? One more couple. How long have you been married? You are engaged. So marry first now. With the way this guy is tall, his fight language might be martial arts. Do you do martial arts? No. Because he's tall and you might martial arts. So I'll just teach her how to dodge, then how to defend, block. Okay. But it's good. This is how you learn. Are you a couple? Please stand. How long have you been married? 9 years. You don't look it. You guys look
9
like
years this June.
9 months. Okay.
9 years.
So do you know what your own fight languages?
I think I'm a logician and a validator.
Okay. What do you think? Do you agree with that, by the way? Okay. What do you think you are? Compromiser. So you see, all women are compromisers then?
They're not. There are lots of reactors. Though.
Okay.
A lot.
Okay, give her a mic. She says sometimes she can be an avoider.
Yes.
You just travel.
No, I don't.
Okay, not that type. You travel to the next room.
Maybe at that point I may not want to deal with that
Deal with the
situation
issue.
at that time.
Yes, I'm kidding. Okay. All right. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for them.
So
Stand now. Stand and help us. They are appointing somebody that she's not a compromiser. So stand. Please stand, both of you, if you don't mind. Just help us. You're helping the class.
Has been trying to lift her.
Yes. How long have you been married, first of all?
15.
15 years. That's
What
good.
celebration.
So tell us. Go ahead.
I didn't know this until when you started this teaching.
Yes.
Between us, he's a compromiser.
Oh.
He likes peace.
Oh.
And I'm the logician.
Yes. No, wait. Oh. They didn't agree. Oh. They didn't agree. Oh.
So he claims you are the reactor.
That's why I said I didn't know this, because why I said this was because most times when later he tells me what I did, I want to know, like what you said, when, how, I want to really, and then he was just like, I just gave him because of that, which shows, compromise.
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, it didn't happen that way, but I want to bring it up. I want us to go back to the beginning and lay it out. So I tell him so I can learn, I won't do it again. Yeah. And he wouldn't want to do that, so we just let it go.
He just wants the peace story.
Now, along the line, just so it doesn't look like that, I see myself trying to compromise more than I would have been doing before. So any 6 times, I'm like, okay, how do you want it? This and that. So I don't know the...
Okay, but generally in a heated conflict, you are the one that your voice will go louder.
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. Let's put our hands together for them. Thank you.
So just out of curiosity, is there anybody in the room who's a reactor? You lash
know you're
out,
a reactor.
you cry, yes.
Yes.
And so what's your husband?
Tell us a bit about it, please. Stand, if you don't mind. Yes, you can stand so that we'll get to connect you guys. How long have you been married first?
13 years.
Wow, that's beautiful. Please stand, sir, if you don't mind. Let's put our hands together for them. So share with us.
So I'm the reactor. I'm the one that will cry, I will shout, and I will lose my mind.
Yes.
And is the avoidant. He will want to go away. Will want to leave the house.
He can't handle that drama.
Yes.
Yes. Thank you. Let's clap for them, please. Let's clap for them. Usually, reactors will generally be attracted to avoiders because, hey, man, this heat is too much. But I want the young couple. If I'm married for, please stand if you don't mind. The man guy say, hey. You look like martial arts. Hope your love fight language, no martial arts. I'm joking. So you guys are married for 1 year.
1 year.
Is it 1 year exactly?
1 year and like a week, or is it 1 year and 2 weeks?
Happy anniversary, guys. Happy anniversary. How's the 1 year been, though?
Sensational.
I know. Okay, so tell us, what do you think? What do you think you are?
Logic.
Okay.
Logic and sometimes compromise.
Okay. Do you agree? Give her the mic.
Actually, yeah.
Is he a logician?
It is very logical.
When just during conflict is what I'm talking
during
about.
conflict.
So what are you?
I'm a reactor.
You're a reactor, so you're the one that.
Yes.
Okay. Do you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
Kung Fu.
Come on, let's put our hands together for them. Thank you. Okay, so it's good to know what your partner is. That way, you know how they react. And again, when people are stressed, they might have somebody that is normally a compromiser can become a reactor because of the stress of the moment and things like that. So for instance, I know when my wife is stressed. When she's stressed, don't have a logical discussion with her. She's just too tired to relate. So things like that help. Yes, no.
Really?
Okay. Ways not to handle conflict. Ways not to handle conflict. So some basic ground rules. Shouting and raising your voice definitely is not a good way to handle conflict. So generally, it's just because I don't want to jump into this next one, but I'll just mention them in passing. Shouting and raising voice is not a way to handle conflict. So try to watch your tone.
In fact, what we say is the only time you're allowed to raise your voice is when there's an actual fire.
Yes.
So every other time. And if you feel like your partner is shouting, you take your tone down. That usually, Bible says a soft answer turns away wrath. So if your partner is shouting or you feel their voice is loud, don't go louder, go lower. It will force them to listen. Okay?
All right. Walking out and slamming doors is also not a good way to go about it. Don't walk out or slam doors.
Or do anything rude.
Rude, yes. Number 3, manipulation. That is fake tears, sulking. Yes, so depriving your spouse of food, of money, or sex.
Or attention. Keeping malice.
Or refusing to eat.
Yes.
I'm not eating. I don't have that problem more. We can be vexing, but don't do my stomach didn't offend anybody. Let me give me my food. Oh. I'm not doing that with you. Yes. For most men, food and sex. Oh. Our organs are not quarreling. It's me and you that are quarreling. They can do. It's a marriage meeting. I can talk now. Yes, they didn't quarrel. They didn't have any issue.
Another thing is do not attack each other.
Don't attack each other, yes.
Don't attack each other physically, verbally. Instead of attacking each other, okay, let's not go into ways, but don't attack each other. It's one of the ground rules. Another thing is you must not insist on having your way. It's not only one way in marriage. You must be willing to compromise. So you must never insist on having your way. There are different views, there are different opinions. There's always a way. In fact, there are a million ways to skin a cat. Isn't that what they say? Yeah. So don't insist that it must be your way. And then the last one, this one, is not. Initially, I used to think it was only women that this rule applied to, but men too. I find out doing this a lot. No nagging. Yes, don't keep going over. That thing never really works. People just build a defense mechanism against you. So every time the words come, a wall goes up. So if you've said it once, you've said it twice, it's kind of enough. But there are women who go over and over again. And these days, I find it's even more irritating when men do it. Men nag and nag and nag and keep going over and over. And they bring up the issue the first time it happened, and it has happened again, and they just keep going. So no nagging. Even though when your partner is nagging, I need to point this out. You need to ask yourself why. People only nag when they don't feel heard. So if someone doesn't feel you heard them the first time, they're going to repeat themselves, and they're going to keep repeating. So it might be a good idea to let them know that you've heard and you're processing. It was one of the things that I think was the first year of our marriage that Pastor K had to teach me. Because I'd say something, and he would just look at me like I fell from the moon. He's just looking at, we're having a conversation, he's just looking, I'm like, I told you we need to do this. And he's looking at me, I told you, after what I told him, he said, when you say it, I've heard you, I'm processing. I still don't get it. Because why can't you just come up with a decision? But
we don't think as
But
fast
I've
as you do.
learned how to just walk away and let him process. Because once I bring up the issue again, it's going to just stop him in his track. And he's going to start all over again in processing. That means more time is going. I know that women, we think and talk, and we're just moving. But we say, okay, let me go and think about it. And I'm like, you want to go and think about this? We're having a conversation now. Can't we just decide? Mm-hmm. But I'm learning now that I don't need to bring it up over and over again. So nagging is definitely not a way to go when there's conflict.
Okay, so some of the ways you can resolve conflict. Number one, calm down. Like they say, be calming down. Emotional maturity is one of the hallmarks, really, of a good marriage. Once you stay in the "this is how I am" mode, you will never grow. You need to grow. You are forced to grow. All right? Marriage doesn't give you that option to remain immature. It doesn't. You'll soon be somebody's parents. Some of you are already people's parents. You have to be mature. So learn to calm down, all right? When you calm down, you are able to deal with the issue properly. And sometimes calming down might involve you not dealing with the issue at that point because you are still too emotionally riled up. Again, like I always say, when you are emotionally high, you are not the same person. You are not seeing that issue the same way. If you have checked your life, there are times when just giving something time, when you come back to it, you are seeing the same issue from a totally different perspective. Same issue, because you are a bit emotionally calm, all right? Some people even recommend things like counting to 20 before you respond. Basically, they're just trying to say, look, don't react on the spot. Even sometimes when people have sent you messages, when you read it immediately and you replied immediately and you found out you replied too quickly, you didn't see the thing well, just leaving that message till the next day or till later in the day, you find out because emotions affects your thinking. It actually short circuits your ability to process, because the same part of your brain that reacts is that same part of your brain that processes, so they don't work at the same time. So if you are really charged up and riled up, you are not going to give a good answer. That's why the Bible says things like be slow to speak, be quick to hear, but be slow to speak. So just slowing down your response goes a long way in solving the conflict, all right? So calm down or be calming down. I tell women in particular that the more serious the conversation, the less emotional you have to be. Because women wonder why I'm not able to communicate with my husband, because he can't handle the emotional intensity you are bringing. So you wait till your own emotions are a bit calm, then have a logical conversation. But when you are already too high, he just avoids or runs away or agrees to anything that he's not going to do. He can't even hear you. You're not communicating. So wait till you calm down. Yes.
Okay. So another way to resolve conflict would be to focus on the issue. Okay? And when we say focus on the issue, this will require active listening. So don't just jump into thinking, I understand what you are saying. You actually have to pay attention. Listen to what your partner is saying. Now, in the heat of the moment, where there's an argument, that's why we say calm down. Because in the heat of the moment, you can't do all these things. You can't, when your husband is shouting and you're shouting and everybody shouting, you can't say, okay, let me focus on the issue. No, you are stupid, you are mad, you are crazy is what will come out of your mouth. So that's why we say really calm down, first of all. And you guys can plan to have this conversation when everybody is calm, right? Especially when it's a really important issue that will affect the outcome of something major in your family. So focus on the issue. Don't bring back past issues. A lot of people do that. Let's focus on what is happening now. And the tone of your language also tells us whether you're focusing on the issue or you're attacking each other. So don't attack each other, attack the issue. Don't say things like, you never help me with this. You always, just say, I feel overwhelmed when I'm doing this alone. Okay, so the tone and the way you communicate what you are feeling goes a long way in helping you resolve the conflict. So what we always say is, please try to focus on what the issue is. Avoid using words like you never, you always. Those are more accusatory. And what that would bring out to your partner is defensiveness. This person will be defensive. Once you attack me and say I never, then I'm going to defend myself rather than solving the situation at hand.
Number what are we in? Number what are we in, please?
3.
3. Okay. Be willing to forgive and compromise. when you're dealing with an issue. All right? Don't come with the I must win the argument mentality. So be willing to compromise. A good negotiation or conflict resolution will involve most times both parties being willing to adjust. So don't come with the my way is the right way, is the only way. If you are never wrong, you are wrong. If you are always right, you are not right. Is somebody getting what I'm saying? So there's always, sometimes you come across people like that think their thinking is always superior to that of everybody. Have you met people like that before? They already have that air. They've never heard the details of the case, but they already know they are the winner. All right? So don't never come with that attitude or mode. All right? You must be willing to compromise, willing to listen, willing to learn, willing to adjust, willing to forgive. All right? Your husband is not the issue. Your wife is not the issue. The issue is the issue. Very important. So don't come with, I want to win this person. I'm going to win you by all means. It's not a competition. It's not a battle. All right? There's no winning. Let's win the marriage. Like I normally say, let's win or let's fight for the agreement, not to win the argument. Very important, yes.
Okay. Another thing that you need to do is, while we're still on the issue, you need to talk about it frankly. Okay? So you have to address it. Don't sweep anything under the carpet. Don't say, oh, it didn't really mean that much. It was not. Say how you really feel. Okay? Be mindful of your tone. Be mindful of the words you use. But it's important that you talk about that issue quite frankly. And another thing you may need to do is look at it from your partner's perspective. Sometimes all you need to do is step into that person's shoes. Mm-hmm. Then you realize that the way they are reacting is because of who they are or because of what they've been through. I'll give you an example. I had a couple that the lady was insistent that she wasn't going to have a joint account or let her husband know how much she was earning. Because we teach joint account or joint accountability. So you don't have to put your money in the same account, but we both must know how much we earn and how we intend to spend it. And this girl was having none of that. My husband will never, she was emphatic, he will never know how much I earn. He will never know anything about my money. He will never, she was so dramatic about it. And the guy didn't understand what the fight was. And this went on. She was like, if that's the only reason why, if that's the thing that will keep us from getting married, we will not get married. She was emphatic. After talking to her for a while, we realized that her mom and her dad had a joint account. And her dad really dealt with the woman. Like, spent all the money, left. She was literally slaving away, and she didn't have money to spend. So she lived a very miserable life. She couldn't, and the girl swore that I will never let this happen to me. So when we brought up the issue of in marriage you have joint account, she says it's not. How do you see people are preaching? You can preach other things, but this one is not happening. So we had to talk to the guy about see if you were in her shoes as well, you would understand why she took this stand. Yes. Of course, we're able to walk with them through the journey and help her see that you're not married to your dad, and your husband is not supposed to pay for the sins of your dad, right? So you have to come. This is a new family. It's a clean slate. God is starting with both of you. We have to make her understand that, but we have to also help him understand, because he too was getting, what's the meaning of that? How much are you even going to earn that? It would have become something it shouldn't be. So when you guys are arguing about something or you don't agree on something, put yourself in your partner's shoes. Try to see where they are coming from. Try to understand the idea and the logic and the motivation behind what they're saying. Don't just say, oh, you don't want to meet, so I will not. In their family, malice may be a regular way they deal with things. That's all they've ever known. Or when he was a child, if he sulks, he gets his way. Nobody ever corrected that. Now he's married, he thinks that's the same way. I'm not going to eat your food. And you go and sit down and eat the food you cooked very well. And he's confused that this is not the reaction I'm supposed to get. Then after that, you educate him that, we're adults now. This is not, my darling, this is not how we deal with issues. Because if you say you eat my food, I will eat it. It doesn't mean I don't love you. It doesn't mean I will still honor you. But I will eat my food.
Yes.
Love you, baby. Okay, boo. That's it. He will learn. Do you understand? So, but you need to understand, and don't just say, what's the meaning of that? That's how he's always dealt with issues. Yeah. His mom made it okay. His dad made it okay. His sisters made it okay. But you don't have to take it. Okay? So it's important that you understand and deal with things frankly. Be upfront about what you will take and what you won't take. Okay? Very important.
All right. Then lastly on this one, always find out God's word or God's perspective on the issue causing the conflict. What does the Bible say? For us as believers, that's our own final judge. That's the thing that determines what direction we go. That's why it's good to be, to be in a kingdom marriage in the first place. A marriage where it is two kingdom citizens run by kingdom principles for kingdom purpose. It helps because there's always need for a third party to be there. It's better when that third party is God. Better than any counselor, better than any therapist, better than any court of law. God. All right, he's the best judge. He's a just judge. So if we're two believers, we should say, what does the Bible say about it? What does the Bible say about it? There are people that ask me all the time, Pastor, I want to fast. I don't want to be having sex when I'm fasting. What does the Bible say about it? There's already a scripture on that. That you can't do it without consent. And you can't do it for a long period. It's there in the Bible already. How should we spend our money? What other? It's there in the Bible. The two shall become one. So can I give my mother money if my wife wants money? You're asking the wrong question. You and your wife are one. It's there in the Bible. So what does the Bible already say? For most cases, there's already a scriptural wisdom on the topic. For most cases. So if both of you are willing to line up with that, you'll find out that a lot of conflicts will be resolved. All right? And in a case where you can't find clearly what the Bible says, then we do what love says. Because God is love. So God's view or point, in any case, is love. God is love. What does love say? In this case, I don't want to cook, but this person needs food. What would love do? I don't want to have sex 3 times a day, but this person wants sex 3 times a day. What would love do? From both ends. The person that wants 3 times should pity the one that does not want. The one that does not want should pity the person that wants. If you both think about what love will do, you'll always find that point where I can serve you and you can serve me, all right? And in the case where you can't find what the Word of God says, you can't find what love will do, in those kind of cases, generally, the leadership of the home should make the judgment call. And the Bible is clear about that. They said the man is the head of the family. So this is why it's good to have or choose a man that actually is a godly leader. Okay? That's why it's important. If you choose a wicked man, he will use wickedness to run the home. Yeah, so it's good to choose a godly leader. And if you notice, in most of the scenarios we looked at, women generally have they generally fall into the compromiser part. It's not a negative thing. It's because generally part of feminine energy is adaptability. It's part of the feminine energy. And part of the masculine energy is rigidity. Okay? So that's how it is. So God designed these things this way for a reason. And that is why in communities like this, divorce is high because the community trains women out of their feminine energy and tries to make them become masculine. And two men generally don't stay together in marriage for long. They won't stay together. Because she's now competing and contesting and conflicting and challenging everything, more than normal. And of course, after a while, they will have to go their separate ways. Divorce is division. It's going 2 different directions by force. That's what divorce is. So don't miss the compromise. For those that are familiar with the kingdom marriage message I preach, I must have referenced it here if I didn't preach it here the last time I came. I preach it. There are 3 kinds of marriages. There's cultural marriage, contemporary marriage, and kingdom marriage. In cultural marriage, it just favors the men. Contemporary marriage favors the women. Kingdom marriage favors God's purpose. All right? So in cultural marriage, the men focus on superiority. We are better than the women. We rule over them. In contemporary marriage, women focus on equality. But in a kingdom marriage, it's on unity. So you have to be, for the men, be careful of superiority and dominance. For the women, be careful of this doctrine of equality. It's a common mindset. In fact, when we use the word feminism most times, we know the dictionary definition of feminism, but that's not what most people are talking about when they are pushing feminism. They are pushing equality in the home. Equality is true. At the workplace, men and women are equal, for sure. As a citizen of the United States or citizen of Nigeria, men and women are equal. In the church, men and women are equal. But in the family, even though we are equal, there's still a hierarchy in the family. So that's where confusion comes. So the feminist woman that has been fighting the colleagues, fighting everywhere for equal rights, they get to the home, they don't know where to stop that fight. And they want to drag the steering wheel with the driver, and usually that breaks down the home. Because a man will not be softened towards somebody fighting him. He'll be hardened. towards the person fighting him all the time. Everything he says, you shoot it down. Everything he says, you do. I have opinion as well. Everything, because as a woman, your strength is not in confrontation. It's in suggestion. It's in influence. That's where your strength is. So you find that the women that have made great men do many things, they didn't do it by challenging them. You will see John the Baptist, you know why he died? A woman twerked. She didn't go and carry sword. No, she just twerked for the man. And the man said, "Whoa, I'll give you anything you like in this life." Say, "This guy is stressing me, kill him." She got more results. So women always in the world get more results when they know how to cry or touch their mind a certain way or be softer. That's better energy. But when you come with confrontation, the man just he becomes more and more hardened towards you. And a man you challenge that always cowers down for you, he'll end up being a weak man. You even like him after a while. And other people will also oppress him outside because he's a weak person. A man that is really a man in the way God wants a man to be generally should be a bit solid and strong in his opinions. That's the way he holds the family down. That's the way he holds the vision of the nation and the society down. But if he's a compromiser, everything he compromises, they tell him he compromised, you'll find out you're not the only one controlling him. Any man you are controlling, you're not the only one controlling. His mother will control him. His sister will control him. His colleague, his secretary will control him. So you still don't want that. You still don't want that, right? So as a woman, be careful of this equality fight. Cultural marriage, superiority. Contemporary marriage wants to push equality. Kingdom marriage is unity. And most times for there to be unity, there has to be conscious compromising for us to be able to work together as a team. All right. Yes.
Okay, so we wanted to teach you something that we use in our counseling sessions that have been very, very effective in helping couples. So if the next time there's a conflict, it doesn't have to be when you're exchanging words or, hopefully after today you won't exchange words, but it doesn't have to be when it's really heated. Sometimes when we even encourage that you have some family meetings and just address issues that are likely to come up before they become urgent, okay? So you can have discussions about where children will go to school, parenting styles, whatever it is. But if there's a conflict, something you both don't agree on, this is something that you can do. It's called an issue pie. So we have sheets of paper we're going to pass around to everyone.
But those that are not couples,
you
just learn it.
It helps.
But if you're a couple, you would appreciate.
So maybe couples can put
so
up
couples
their
are supposed to have
hands
two
that they
each,
can
right?
pass it.
For each person.
Yeah, for each person.
Yes. So for the couples, each person should have one.
Each person
so
should have one.
that means you need one as well.
Couples,
you need your own.
Please raise your hand.
No, you
couples.
need yours. She needs hers. Okay.
So 2 sheets of paper. One
And you
for
need
each
pens
person.
as well.
You need pens as well.
So if you need a pen, can you raise your hand? I don't know if we can get pens. Sorry, I didn't tell you about that before.
Yeah.
If you can get pens, please. If you are in the hall, please sit with your spouse, if possible. It will help the exercise, all right? It will help the exercise. Please, you will need pens. So I don't know if everybody has pens.
Pens, pencils, anything you can write with.
Something you can write with, so very important. Please, did Chelsea play today? No. Tomorrow? Who are they playing against? Bedford. That's not draw now. It's draw. 1-1 draw. I don't know how you guys keep in touch with Premiership here. When I'm here like this, I don't even catch the matches. By the time I wake up, they finish the match.
Okay, we're going to try to do this quickly because we have exactly 7 minutes and 3 seconds. So if you have a sheet of paper already, could you please just draw a circle?
If the pens don't go around, then the couple can share the pen. But preferably for time, it's good for everybody to have. Couples mainly, let's start with the couples first. The single people, you need somebody else to do it. So just learn it. Or if you are two ladies, you can just fight yourself now and just settle.
So please just draw a circle, a big circle.
Does everybody have so that we can go through these instructions? Get your pens ready. Yes, draw a big circle.
Please, let's do this quickly. We have only 6 minutes, and I really would like us to keep to time and respect the church.
Let's major on the couples first so that they can start.
So if you have a big circle in the center,
there's a couple at the back that needs assistance, please. Let's focus on the couples urgently. Sorry, we should have prepared you for this earlier.
So
Focus
now
on
that
the
you have
couples.
your circle, can we move? Sit time.
It's fine. All right, are we ready? My wife, it's always, let's keep to time. I say you'll be okay. All right, this couple in front, do you have yours? Okay, yes. Please get a pen. So let's do this, guys. Go ahead. Big circle. Everybody, draw a big circle, and your sheet of paper. Thank you. Do you have your own? Everybody needs one. Babs, please give the lady a piece of paper as well. She has, oh, good. Wow, okay. I'm looking at your circle if it's fine. No, it's okay. It doesn't have to be.
It doesn't matter
perfect.
what the circle looks like. Just make it a circle.
Yeah, but those perfectionists, their own will be so round. I'm looking for my people. Their own that when they finish, it will be a square. It will not be a circle. All right, are we ready now, everybody? Do you have yours? Okay. Have you drawn your circle? Chelsea circle. All right, go ahead, baby.
Okay, then please draw a straight line running across so that it becomes half.
Yes, draw a straight line running across, becomes half.
Now draw a circle, a line the other way so it becomes a quarter.
Like a cross.
Yeah, so you have a cross in the middle. Now, ideally, what we will do is make it 8, but I'm just going to, we'll actually make it 8, like almost like a pizza. But we're not doing that.
Because of time, yes.
Because of time. So now you have four boxes, not boxes, 4 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
In each quarter, if you're with your partner, write 4 things that you have recently not been able to agree on. 4 things. Now, if you were in counseling and there was a particular issue, what we'll do is
issues you've been
write
having
the issues that you've been dealing with. What I mean, everything is fine, so we're just teaching you in case you need to work on this together. So 4 things.
That you probably have not agreed about.
That you've not agreed on.
That is still an issue you guys still discuss or debate about. It can even be something in the past that you've resolved, but you just want to still debate
just
it.
for the sake of
It's just for
teaching you how
example's
to do
sake.
this.
If you have more than 4, leave the remaining. Just use the leave 4.
In the 4 different things. So
4 different
in the first
things.
quarter, it can be money, vacation.
We've had issue
whatever.
with this. We've had just the title of it. Couple people are not writing. No, you need yours. Oh, you need an extra pen then because we can't wait for you to wait for her. You need your own pen. Babs, this gentleman needs pen. Yes. It will help you in terms of time. Yes. All right, baby, go ahead. Are we all done? Is there anybody that does not have up to 2 things? Or let me say, is there anybody that doesn't have anything at all? On your couple, you don't have anything at all? Nothing. You guys agree on every single thing. Is your wife, does your wife have a form? And there's nothing there that you can think about that you guys need to. Okay.
That's great.
You also have nothing at all. Okay.
Okay. That's good. Even though one day you may have to feel that thing.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not.
These are not issues of quarrel, or not necessarily quarrel.
I need you to understand that it's not.
Yes,
things
not necessarily that
fighting
we are
about.
insulting ourselves.
It may be things that we are both trying to make a decision
Yes,
on.
I want to buy a new house. She doesn't want to buy a new house. It can be something like that. It mustn't be a quarrel.
And it's not a quarrel. It's
Yes.
just that we have different needs at this time.
Or different opinions
or
on this
we
thing.
want to change our child's school.
Yes, it can be anything.
Just write it there. We're not quarreling about it,
It's
but
not
it's
quarrel.
something. It's an issue that we need help resolving.
resolve,
So we
yes.
just want to give you steps on how to, whenever there's an issue, how to resolve. It's not even fight. So whatever it is, maybe something you both are both trying to make a decision on.
Yes, not a quarrel, please.
Should we move to Canada? Should we stay here?
Uh-huh.
Should we?
Are we going to move back to Nigeria after a while?
Yeah.
Can be anything.
It can be anything. Just write
So
anything.
not quarrel. So it's. I'm sure if you think well, there must be something. You can't have nothing at all.
So what we're going to
That
do
would be
because
weird.
of time, we have just 1 minute, sir.
Yes.
So what we're going to do because of time is you're going to draw an arrow from one of those issues, right? Both of you are going to pick. In fact, first of all, look at your issues. Are they the same? Because I find this happens a lot, that they are not the same issues at all. So that's the first place to start. So you look at the 4, they are not the same at all. Is there anybody like that? Are they all the same issues? Okay, so part of the reason why it's the same issues is because they are sitting together. You know,
Okay, they're not supposed to sit together. Okay.
We usually don't let them sit together.
Yes, it's not an agreement issue. It's not what do we agree together
So
that's our problem.
So let me explain it to you. Normally, we wouldn't allow them to sit together. But because we're not really resolving an issue, we're trying to teach you guys together. That's why we let you sit together. Normally, we would have you not sit together. They would write their issues. Most times when they come together, the 4 issues are completely different. Or the 8, because we do 8. They're completely different. Now, we now have to work on that. We have to make them see that. So you see, your goals and your whatever you're fighting about is totally different. Then we get them to agree on 8 that are the same. Okay? Like I said, we always do 8. So we get them to agree on 8 that are the same. When we've agreed on the 8 that are the same, we take 1 issue per time. So the first issue maybe is how we spend money. We'll take the first issue. And then from there you draw an arrow, and the wife would write her own 4 reasons why it's an issue for her. The man will write his own 4 reasons, right? We'll bring them together. Because of time, I want to run through it. We'll bring them together, and you check whether the issues you are even arguing about the same thing. Most of the time, it's not the same thing. It's usually not the same thing that is annoying you. So we'll get to the point that, okay, these are the 4 issues. These are his 4 issues. Now, those 4 issues, what we're going to do is that you've given me the problems. Now I need the solution. Give me 4 solutions that you think can make 2 of us. Now that you know what his problem is, you know what my problem is, I'm going to look at it and see, bring 4 solutions that I think can work. He will bring 4 too that he thinks can work. Then we'll sit down. And from his 4 and my 4, we'll now look at them. Usually we'll do this as the counselor. We'll be like an umpire of some sort, or a referee. So we'll look at the issues and say, this is the solution this person brought. Do you agree with the solution? Yes. No. I can work with that. We'll asterisk it if they agree. At the end of the day, both of you will learn how to come to an agreement based on the solutions you have both preferred. Because both of you have now come up with these solutions together, and the person either says, I agree, I don't agree. If the person agrees, you'll find that you have been able to fine-tune what the problem is, make sure you're on the same page with the challenges, make sure you understand what your partner's problem is with the issue, because they've written what their problem is concerning that issue. You now understand what your partner's issue is too, and you've come together to create solutions by yourself. Nobody's arguing. Now, if you were having this conversation, you will argue. If you are writing, most likely you are not going to argue, because I'm just reading what you wrote. So we're using the pen rather than the tongue. Do we understand? So rather than exchanging words, we're writing it. There's no insult. I don't want our children to go to this school because, okay, I'll give you an example. We want to change our son's school. Let's use that for example now. My son is very much like Pastor K, so he's a sanguine. The school he's currently in is a Christian school. Obviously, they are largely, I think everybody in that school is melancholy because they do negative marking. And he's in grade 5. So if for instance, he's studying, he gets all his answers. If he forgets to write his name, it's -5. If he forgets a full stop, it's -2. If he forgets a comma, it's -2. If he forgets to write God, for instance, in capital letter, or Tuesday in capital letter, is -5. So at the end of the day, he gets everything, but you have taken all his marks for all the mistakes he's made, so he will fall into a 69, and 69 is an F. So he's reading, and then he comes home and says, Mommy, they are messing with my head. That's what he says to me. He says, Mommy, they're messing with my head. And he's such a math genius. So you give him a math question, and you say 5 people have 5 books. How many books are those in total? He will write 25. But because he didn't write 25 books, he gets that question wrong. That's how their school operates. Now, this is my argument. When we write David's school, I'm going to write what I have a problem with, right? I feel like this school would be good for him because we can work on his weaknesses. He will be more detailed. I don't want to change him from this school because I think that it's also a Christian school, so he will help his Christian work and he will see life from a Bible perspective. I don't want to change his school because I think he's already made friends here. I don't want to change his school because the same school his sisters are, so we can all do school runs together. My husband, on the other hand, wants us to change his school because you are discouraging the boy, number one. Number two, life is not like that.
Yes.
Life is not like that. You people are too serious in that school. Number three, they don't understand personality. So they are trying to teach everybody the same way. Number four, what's that fourth one again? Number four, I can't remember it now. Yeah. But anyhow, we bring all those things together and then we sit down together and think, okay, so I say, I like the fact that it's a Christian school, he will grow. My husband says we can get more Christian activities in church. He will be there. He has knocked off, so what we now say is, do I agree? I agree. Because what I really want is I want my son to still have a biblical worldview about life. Can we get it anywhere else? Yes. So that knocks off my argument. Pastor K's my argument of school runs. We can't do 2 different school runs in the morning. Oh, we just put him in school with a family friend that lives opposite us, that their children go to that school, and the school is more normal school. They are not marking negative. So, so he knocks off all of my, if there's anyone I don't agree with, I will still say no. We'll now have to find a way. But because we're doing it like exam. It's like written input. We're imputing this, it doesn't work, we remove it. So it's not, I don't agree. Why will you do that? No, we're writing it. So it's
because
easier.
most times if it's talking, you hear, you
yes,
never, you always,
yes.
And the thing will turn to world war.
And then we will not be focused on the real issue. That's why it's called an issue pie, because it's the issue that we're focused on. It has nothing to do with how you behave, how I behave.
And what you did 20 years ago.
That's why you want them to move the child. No, this is him. It has nothing to do with his father. This is him. This is the boy's personality. And then Pastor K gives me, okay, I have a problem with why you think we should move him just because. So does that mean that anytime something is not the way he is, we should move him? Say no. He'll give me his reasons why he thinks. So, both of you agree. Then at the end of the day, we now decide together. Going forward, what's the solution? Because we've now agreed. So what's the solution now? What kind of school do we want? We enlist it. And we go together to look for it. And we agree and we move. Do you see that the problem is solved? Without us exchanging words, without us attacking each other, that's how you always do. Must it be your way? Can't he stay in that school? What's wrong with that? Other people are there, they're not surviving. And we'll have that conversation written. I think other children are surviving there. It may be good for his weaknesses. So what about his strengths? He may be discouraged. Sanguines usually need energy, positive energy. If you're constantly pointing out his mistakes, he will become discouraged and he will begin to second guess himself. So if somebody knows math and you say because he did not write English, he has failed the math, the boy will be confused. He will be confused. So you need to, the other day they asked question, they drew a square. What is this? He wrote square. They say polygon. He failed it. The boy said, no, this is square. Mommy, this is a square. This is a square. They are messing with my brain. This is a square. So you see, when we sit down and articulate written, we can solve the problem. And that's what we're trying to teach.
And part of it is that sometimes on the one issue, people write 5 solutions each. And usually those solutions, or even 3 each, you find out somewhere along those 3, there's one that will match that both of you are. So it's better when there's one couple and we can spend time to do it, but you get the general gist.
Yes, we just wanted to at least give you an idea of how you can work some of these issues.
Yeah.
I hope that helps.
All right. Thank you. God bless you.